with weak stability.
5 a.m.
Yo, no way, where PNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know, like how Auntie Cathy giving blow. Contracts gone to she own company, this country can't take it no more, oh no. Just like how the Russians vanish, like the SOP, gone in a flash. Patterson they smiling on TV, talking sweet while cutting deal easy, giving contracts like it's nothing real, saying scale at work, but what's the deal? Up to now, no scale in sight. Sherrod disappearing at the night. 5 million gone from Chronicle, like it take with funds and ride a miracle. No way, no BNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know, like how Auntie Cathy giving blow. Them run with try but still want more. We tired now, we can't take no more. 5 years of them run this place, bring nothing but shame and disgrace. Corruption full up in every case, and tax raise up at a wicked pace. Tax and school, tax and light, water bill giving granny fright. Even the jackass can't get tax, them not care about poor man's back. Now them come back with team sanctioned gold smuggle and tax evasion action. 10,000 kilo them can't explain, and 50 mil gone down the drain. PNC and AOC no credibility, them play games with weak stability. Only one position for themselves, don't care about we ask nothing about the blank checks. Nigel business with eggs and well set. Election thief is all them know, but Guyana done wake and know we grow. No way, PNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. The whole world know. Yo, no way, where PNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know, like how Auntie Cathy giving blow. Contracts gone to she own company, this country can't take it no more, oh no. Just like how the Russians vanish, like the SOP, gone in a flash. Patterson they smiling on TV, talking sweet while cutting deal easy, giving contracts like it's nothing real, saying scale at work, but what's the deal? Up to now, no scale in sight. Sherrod disappearing at the night. 5 million gone from Chronicle, like it take with funds and ride a miracle. No way, no BNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know, like how Auntie Cathy giving blow. Them run with try but still want more. We tired now, we can't take no more. 5 years of them run this place, bring nothing but shame and disgrace. Corruption full up in every case, and tax raise up at a wicked pace. Tax and school, tax and light, water bill giving granny fright. Even the jackass can't get tax, them not care about poor man's back. Now them come back with team sanctioned gold smuggle and tax evasion action. 10,000 kilo them can't explain, and 50 mil gone down the drain. PNC and AOC no credibility, them play games with weak stability. Only one position for themselves, don't care about we ask nothing about the blank checks. Nigel business with eggs and well set. Election thief is all them know, but Guyana done wake and know we grow. No way, PNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. The whole world know. Yo, no way, where PNC, no way, AFC, not again, with the same trickery, no way, PNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know, like how Auntie Cathy giving blow. Contracts gone to she own company, this country can't take it no more, oh no. Just like how the Russians vanish, like the SOP, gone in a flash. Patterson they smiling on TV, talking sweet while cutting bill easy, giving contracts like it's nothing real. Saying scale at work, but what's the deal? Up to now, no scale in sight. Sherrod disappearing at the night. 5 million gone from Chronicle. Like it take with funds and ride a miracle. No way, no BNC, no way, no way AFC. Not again with the same trickery. No way BNC and AFC. Election thief is all them know. Like our auntie get the giving blow. Them run we try but still want more. We tired now, we can't take no more. 5 years of them run this place. Bring nothing but shame and disgrace. Corruption full up in every case. And tax raised up at
This is an important aspect of this transformation. As we continue to transform Guyana, in the next 5 years, digital Guyana is going to be an important aspect of this transformation. The world is moving towards digitization and AI. For us to remain competitive, for us to build a strong and resilient economy, and for us to be part of the global competition, we must do so in a smarter, safer, and more connected Guyana for all, building transparency, efficiency, competitiveness, and reliability in every service we provide. The People's Progressive Party Civic is proud to lead Guyana into this new digital era, rooted in innovation, inclusion, and efficiency. Digital Guyana is our commitment to building a modern state where technology makes public service faster services more accessible and more responsive, powered by innovation and anchored by our national e-identification system. This transformative and transformation will make Guyana a digital leader in the region and a better place to live, work, and raise a family. We want digital Guyana to make life enjoyable. We want digital Guyana to make life easier, to make systems more efficient, to make systems more reliable, to make doing business easier, to ease every single bureaucracy out of the system and create a stable, strong, service-driven and oriented system. So therefore, the pillars of digital Guyana: one Guyana, one platform, the citizen portal, a centralized, one-stop digital platform available via website, Android, and iPhone apps, will bring together all government services in one simple digital window. With just a few clicks, citizens will be able to apply for passports, birth certificates, driver's license, and ID cards, access health and education records, file taxes, and businesses can have their registration done online. GRA can have all these services available by just a click of a button. This process have already started. We're going to continue. You will be able to pay your utility bills, apply for housing and construction permits, and much more. Of course, as I said, the process would have started. We already had the Ministry of Housing Electronic Planning Development Single Window System, now extended across every single region. We will now be including government services, including home affairs, health, education, and the GRA. Already, work has commenced on digitizing all of the services under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The portal will also incorporate the EID system, already implemented, as a source of truth for citizens' identity, enabling every Guyanese to have verified access to these services anytime from anywhere in Guyana. Also, it is important that our citizens can have reliable, accurate information as it relates to government services, what the government is doing, our education platform, our healthcare platform. Therefore, the second aspect of this is AskGov. The Ask Government is your AI assistant. AskGov will be Guyana's official AI assistant for government services. AskGov will be available 24/7 to answer citizens' questions and help complete tasks like renewing a license, checking your application status, or requesting documents. Powered by generative AI, AskGov can answer all government queries and solve problems without human intervention. Already, this is deployed across different countries. In some countries, individuals can be assisted through AI in filling up their tax records so that it makes it easier, less expensive, and more efficient for them to do in their own homes at their own convenience. This is exactly what we'll be replicating here in Guyana to bring us to the first world service delivery model. Guyana's first sovereign AI cloud and AI and big data for better lives. We have to have sovereignty over our data, our information, and we'll be investing in our sovereign AI cloud to store our data, to improve lives, greater accessibility, and reduce the costs of transaction. We are building Guyana's first sovereign AI cloud, which will help Guyana's data within our whole Guyana data, within our borders, keep our data secure. This digital foundation will enable cutting-edge tools such as big data to identify trends and support informed decisions in health, education, and security. Generative AI to create reports, curriculum guides, and assist with chat support. In education, students and teachers will benefit from AI personalized learning and interactive curriculum access. Even in the most remote areas, in healthcare, AI will enhance diagnosis, track diseases, and prioritize critical cases faster. For everyday services, citizens will get real-time intelligence support, whether they're in Berbice, Bartica, or Blackbush. To support this digital platform, we're also going to develop an integrated GIS infrastructure mapping. Digital Guyana will also introduce an integrated geographic information system to map and monitor national infrastructure in real time. This system will be able to create 3D models of all physical infrastructure across the country, such as roads, bridges, cocas, and drainage, underground conduits, utility posts, hydrants, and more. This is essential if we are building a modern society. So the days of cutting the roads and cutting the highways in search of pipelines will be long gone, and we can use technology to do this more efficiently, reducing the risk, but also creating an enabling environment for comfort of our citizens. It will serve as a single unified data layer for both public and private sector use, enable smarter planning, quicker emergency response, and more efficient utility coordination. Developed through public-private collaboration, this GIS model will become the backbone for infrastructure management, linking smart city technologies with the real-world systems that support our communities. Important to our future is cybersecurity and data protection. With more services going digital, protecting your personal information is a top priority for the People's Progressive Party Civic. Under Digital Guyana, we'll adopt global best practices in data and encryption and secure cloud hosting, ensuring that AI is used responsibly and transparently. This will help us to build stronger, safer communities through smart technologies. Digital Guyana will expand the Safe City and Safe Road initiatives using smart technology to improve public safety and environmental monitoring. AI-driven surveillance for crime detection and response, smart traffic systems for congestion management and road safety, environmental sensors to monitor noise, air quality, and illegal dumping, data sharing between law enforcement and agencies for coordinated response. These upgrades will help create cleaner, safer, and more livable communities. These are the things that matter for stronger families, stronger communities, a stronger country, a more responsible population, and a country that lives in dignity. Financial inclusion is also an important aspect of this platform. Financial inclusion for all. The Citizen Portal will be fully integrated with banks and financial institutions, enabling instant, secure verification for account opening, faster access to loans and microfinancing, reduction in barriers to formal banking for low-income and remote populations. To support this, the National Data Management Authority will manage a secure, trusted API gateway to integrate Digital Guyana with the financial sector, the credit bureau, fintech services, and the wider private sector. This will enable interoperability, privacy, and scalability for future innovation and ensure all Guyanese can participate in and benefit from the digital economy. Digital Guyana is our roadmap to a better future within reach and within 5 years. Under the PPPC, Guyana will become a regional leader in digital transformation and a digital nation for everyone. This is key and critical for our development. This is key and critical for our competitiveness. And this work, as I said, has already started. That is why we have to go forward together for a better Guyana. Our 2030 plans of one nation, one network, one future. Guyana is on the rise with low-cost renewable energy, abundant land, and a climate-resilient location. We are poised to become the digital capital of the region. Therefore, we must aggressively pursue this plan that outlines a bold future where technology connects, empowers, and protects every Guyanese citizen, and where Guyana leads not just at home, but across the region. A digital nation for all will help in disaster recovery, an AI hub for the region, a creator and regional exporter of digital government platforms, a place where young people build tech careers and businesses at home. As I said, the strategic pillars are built on a digital infrastructure, a unified digital government, an electronic ID platform. Every Guyanese citizen will enjoy this digital future. The single gateway to healthcare, education, housing, financial services, NIS, GRA, birth, marriage, death certificate, business registration, secure online and offline access. This is what we are building for Guyana. In this digital future, we are going to ensure that every service, whether it's NIS, whether it's tax services, all of it at the NDC level, all of it is on a digital platform that supports efficiency, reliability, good governance, transparency, and enhanced accountability. This digital platform will enable us also to fight corruption and make government accessible, as I said, 24/7. Important to this is the region disaster recovery zone. Guyana's natural immunity to hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanoes make us the safest place to host digital infrastructure for the region. By 2030, we will establish the Caribbean Disaster Recovery Super Hub, host mirror system for CARICOM, government, banks, and telecoms, offer emergency digital continuity services for healthcare, education, and governance, support data sovereignty through secure in-country, creating regional backups, and doing this as a green AI and innovation hub. Guyana electricity will be up to 70% cheaper than the rest of the region, and this makes us the most cost-effective place for AI and data operation. We're therefore going to work on building out AI zone and data campuses powered by hydro, gas, and solar, partner with global firms on climate AI, health analytics, and smart agriculture, launch the National AI Institute to train our workforce, certify green data centers. This is something of the future. green data centers, and we will be in a position to be part of that future. Exporting digital government platforms regionally, as I said. This is what we are pursuing. Developing open source or licensed e-government application that can be shared with other countries in the region. Offer white label versions of our citizen portal. Host regional tech incubators and digital government events. Establish a digital government export fund to support startups, digital solution for shared challenges here in Guyana and across the region. By exporting secure, affordable digital tools, Guyana will help raise service standards across the region, earning revenue and influence. This digital future will create jobs and industry and ICT zone that will enable new tech parks and digital-free zones across our country. Host software development firms, call center and cloud services. And all of this will be backed, of course, by our fiscal incentive systems of tax holidays and other incentives that we already give to this sector. Creating remote and hybrid tech jobs in all our region, higher skilled jobs, higher paying jobs, creating a digital talent that is world class. These are the things that are going to build this future for us. The coding program in every school, available to every child, is going to help to build that foundation. We've already started that. Our free digital certification in cloud, cybersecurity, AI, and data services, that has already started. All of this is to support this digital future that we are building. We're going to fund digital boot camps for youth, women, and small businesses. And important to all of this is also digital justice, privacy and protection, as I said, to ensure trust and security. We are working on bringing world-class opportunities here through building a world-class digital platform for us now and in the future. Let us move forward together for a better Guyana with the People's Progressive Party Civic. Thank you.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Livewire. We just heard from His Excellency. They had an early morning broadcast outlining where Guyana is heading in relation to digital technology, AI, things like that. I hope persons understood the path laid out by His Excellency and the spin-offs that will benefit Guyanese, young and old, because of this. Now, one of the main things I want to highlight is morning to everybody, morning to the persons across the 10 administrative regions, morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora, special good morning to the persons joining us in the comment section. Now, one of the first things I want to look at, or I want to highlight to you all, is the difference in presentation in terms of when we hear from political persons in this country. When you hear from a Aubrey Norton or a Nigel Hughes, it's a grandiose idea, oftentimes with no plan in relation to implementation, with no proper idea of how it will benefit the Guyanese people, or it is often something that is already implemented and happening for the Guyanese people already. When you listen to the presentation by His Excellency, highlighting where they will be moving Guyana in terms of digital technology, AI, creating a hub here due to the fact that we don't experience certain natural disasters. So we're better able to store data with less of a chance of that data being destroyed by natural disasters for other countries. This is a whole new source of revenue that will come into Guyana. Jobs will be created. He spoke of the digital ID, which will ease the process of Guyanese going through some of these government systems, as he would have highlighted. So with His Excellency, and I dare say, when you speak to the president, or you speak to the prime minister, or you speak to the vice president, or you speak to these ministers of government, you leave the conversation having a clearer understanding of what the task is, how it will be accomplished, and after it is accomplished, how you as the citizen will benefit, right? So for persons who didn't know about AI, they have a complete understanding of what the capabilities are if we invest in this sort of technology and this kind of development, and what the spin-offs will be. And that's what you get with a PPP administration. This wasn't even supposed to be part of my content this morning, because I said I was just going to play the video because it was an early morning live. Persons may see it till later in the day, so at least by Livewire people could be up to date in relation to this. Christopher, why you can't get a house lot, Christopher Thomas? Have you applied for a house lot? Tell us why you can't get a house lot. Okay, I don't know if Christopher's talking to somebody or he talking to me, but Christopher, apply for your house lot, buddy. Housing schemes building all over the country, and you can benefit, right? Right, guys. So again, welcome to Livewire with yours truly. Morning to everybody tuning in. Again, I'd like to make you guys aware of the iSecure Fireball. Please make sure you go down to Game Express and get yours. Protect your home. This is the safer, more easily operated version of the fire extinguisher, more so for persons who may tend to have their children at home alone. Morning to Mr. Gaji, right? For those persons who tend to have their children home alone, they might not be able to operate a fire extinguisher. This option is lightweight, right? And all they do is roll it into the fire. It explodes and extinguishes the fire, right? You guys could pick these up at Game Express or call Quincy on, don't know Quincy number out my head. For the persons trying to get me, I lost my phone. So if you're not getting me, please bear with me until I sort that out, right? So if you need fireballs, you can call Quincy on 609-7559. That's 609-7559. Or you can go down to Game Express on North Road. Yes, on North Road. And you can pick up your fireballs there. There is a deal in terms of if you buy, I think it's either 3 or 6, one out of the two. I need to find out because that's a big difference. Either 3 or 6 and you get it at the wholesale price, right? So iSecure Fireball available here in Guyana. It's the safe option for your home, your business, your daycare center, wherever you are, and there may be a possibility of a fire, which is everywhere. You need a fireball. So get one from Game Express. So getting into today's content, guys, thank you for the continued support. Remember, subscribe and follow us on the various platforms that you're joining us on. Okay. So to kick it off, I just wanted to give a little update on this elections trial that's happening. As persons may know, Kit Nascimento would have given his testimony in relation to the elections fraud trial, and his testimony confirmed discrepancies in the Region 4 tabulation, as the PPPC and diplomats were the ones who would have been raising the alarm when this was happening. Now, Nascimento is a respected elections observer, has been observing elections, multiple elections in this country, and I think even further afield in the international arena, different countries observing elections, confirmed that the Region 4 tabulation process was fraudulent, with figures not matching the official statements of poll. And when I mention statements of poll, I mentioned to you that we are going into another elections. Aubrey Norton as a presidential candidate, Jurita from the I can't say from the AFC, Jarita in the wilderness right now. Jarita from the wilderness as the prime ministerial candidate, formerly of the AFC, right? They have not produced up to now the SOPs in the possession of the PNC or the coalition or the AFC. Nigel Hughes, as the new leader, has not presented his party's SOPs, right? A copy of the SOPs to the AP and new AFC whilst they were together. Nigel Hughes knows that his ministers from the party he runs now lied to the people of Guyana. He will be running as their presidential candidate, and he has not conducted an internal investigation in relation to their involvement in the elections rigging, and just expect Guyanese to forget that and move forward. Now, Nascimento, coming back to what we're discussing, Nascimento made it clear that what was presented was a fabricated spreadsheet, not legitimate elections documents, further validating the PPPC's long-standing position on attempted fraud. Now, the PPPC, their stance on this was firm from the beginning. Representatives of the PPPC immediately objected to those discrepancies that were found, raising the alarm in the Ashmans building, as persons will remember. President Ali, at the time, just a presidential candidate, Vice President Jadeo, at the time, just the General Secretary and still the General Secretary of the PPP, they protested directly. Their protest directly halted the premature declaration of false results by returning Officer Claremont Mingo. Right? Now, what is important to remember is that international diplomats supported that truth. Diplomats from the USA, the UK, Canada, EU also flagged the fraudulent process and joined calls for transparency. Now, this international scrutiny added significant pressure to uphold the democratic norms of Guyana. Keith Lowenfield even acknowledged the discrepancies. So, like when you hear persons saying these guys weren't involved, you want to know which election they was looking at. The former CEO, Keith Lowenfield, himself admitted that the numbers were not matching up. And because of that, temporarily halted the process. This is proof of irregularities. Now, there was intimidation and what I would say opaque conduct. On the 13th of March, the process was moved to a smaller room. And Mingo banned photos, he banned laptops. This automatically raised concerns amongst diplomats and observers. Courdel Joseph, in full hooligan lunatic mode, was aggressively, I feel sorry for the guy from Anog. He's smart, Courdel. Oh, Lord. No, in full lunatic mode, attempted to force the continuation of the count. This further exposes the AP and UAFC and the deception that they tried to push through with those rigged results. The Chief Justice, Roxanne George, had to intervene. This was crucial for stopping the fraud and ensuring that the process remained within legal bounds. So civil society, observers, the media, not newsroom, well, I was mainly watching newsroom coverage during this thing. People like newsroom who are on the ground live, those people played a key role in defending the democracy of this country. And when I say civil society, I don't mean persons like GHRA and Policy Forum Guyana and Red Trail. They nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. They live their head. This guy, McCormick, I don't know if he did taking a saline or what. But nowhere to be found. Not a song, not a word. Not a word. Now, if y'all remember, the most competent interlocutors, the CARICOM recount confirmed the legitimate results that the PPPC won with 233,336 votes, and the APNU only had 217,920 votes. This now would have revealed Lowenfield's fake numbers, which wrongfully showed APNU in the lead. Now, in 2021, GCOM took out the trash. In 2021, GCOM do a general cleaning and sent all the trash that it had inside of it, or all of the parasitic bodies that it had inside of it, making it sick, got it doing a set of stupidness. They sent it to Higgs Bosch. So in 2021, GCOM terminated the contracts with Lowenfield, Myers, and Mingo. And in my view, this restored some sort of integrity to this elections body. Chop off the limb before you lose the whole thing. Before it gets septic and infect the whole body, chop it off, let it go. So, y'all keep following this case. This case is historic for Guyana's democracy, showing that elections fraud will not go unpunished. For too long, the PNC been getting away with that back in the day, and no repercussions. The PPPC government is committed to justice, transparency, and democracy. Right? And this is underscored by the continuation of this trial. They try by all means to frustrate the process, by all means. 5 years. But the Guyanese people need justice for what happened in 2020. And the evidence is just like writing on the wall. Everybody could see it. Everybody was there. Everybody was looking. Everybody was looking. Right? So, on the other hand, GCOM now would have sworn in returning officers yesterday. Right? GCOM would have sworn in returning officers yesterday. Thank God Mingo is not a part of that bunch. Now, they have officially sworn in 20 returning officers and supernumerary returning officers. Now, this marks a key milestone in preparations for the September 1st general and regional elections. Now, this is a move that demonstrates that Guyana is on track to deliver free, fair, and transparent elections. The oath taking was conducted at GCOM headquarters. And as normal, the chairman was there, Chief Justice, retired Claudette Singh. And this was to ensure that the process was lawful and it followed the natural procedures of the appointments. Now, these ROs and SROs will operate under the Representation of the People's Act, ensuring all processes follow established legal framework. Now, the government has been supporting strong, independent institutions. The PPPC government continues to uphold its commitment to strengthening the democratic institutions by supporting GCOM in carrying out its constitutional mandate. These appointments are a signal of readiness and credibility in Guyana's electoral system. Now, GCOM has invited political parties, and I hope the AFC is listening because they usually got a problem with everything, right? They usually got a problem with everything. And y'all are an established political party, so your tentacles should be out in the regions, right? So GCOM has invited political parties to visit district offices for information, or I should say important updates, statutory deadlines, and procedural guidance, encouraging, in my view, openness and transparency. Now, this inclusive approach allows parties to be fully informed and engaged in the process, right? Now, the PPPC administration has reiterated its unwavering support for electoral integrity and inclusive participation. Now, this will ensure that every Guyanese citizen has a voice in this democratic process. The smooth appointment and swearing in of these ROs reflects the administration's seriousness about credible elections. Now, in terms of GCOM and building public confidence in the system, the structured rollout and the professionalism, I would say, displayed by GCOM help to build voter trust and public confidence in the upcoming elections. With GCOM fully operational and its returning officers in place, the nation can look ahead to a transparent and a well-managed process in terms of the elections, right? So hats off to GCOM in relation to moving your process forward, swearing in your ROs and your SROs, and onward to the elections. Now, I got this photo early this morning. Bab. So I'm thinking this is the APNU AFC's, this is the APNU coalition elections logo, right? Somebody said it to me earlier, and I thought it was a joke because I saw the ganja sign under the palm tree and under the kanji pheasant there, right? So I messaged a friend who is a part of a ganja society. It's like they're dealing with, they are engaging the government in relation to hemp being grown in Guyana and that kind of thing. So I was like, what? Y'all join the coalition, you must say for man. But people, this logo here, this ganja leaf logo that you're seeing here, belongs to Leon Saul party. Y'all remember Leon Saul, who used to be on Channel 6 with Sharma, Justice for All? Rastaman Leon Saul. Now, could you imagine Leon Saul, who petitioned the same coalition in 2015 to join? And mind you, everybody allowed to go where they want and that kind of thing. But I'm just showing you how this guy is. And sometimes, even when people getting what they want, because of racist undertones, you understand me, they won't get on board with people who actually moving forward with what they want to do. Now, Leon Saul had petitioned the APNU AFC to join them in 2015. And they said, no, get from here. You get away from here. We don't want you. They chased Leon Saul in 2015 and his party. They had a Rasta guy, he sell alkaline water in Sobrianville, just on the outside of Kitty Day by the gym. When you go over the road, he's selling alkaline water. They had a political party and they get chased. The combined coalition of the AFC and the APNU chased them. Now that the APNU, well, the PNC really chased the AFC out of the coalition. They need more people. So now Leon Saul get welcome with open arms. And he run in and put he ganja under a palm tree. Leon, ganja gotta get sunlight to grow. How you gonna plant you ganja leaf, you ganja under a palm tree? What madness you doing? I mean, the kanji pheasant mess gonna help, but you gotta get sunlight, buddy. What's wrong with you? Leon gone, Leon run in there now. Leon run in the APNU now. I wonder if they can give you member parliament in the opposition when they lose come September 1st. Right? Leon Saul complained that he get no Ipadaji money. He never get Ipadaji money. The same man who is commissioner at GCOM is the Ipadaji chairperson or the head of Ipadaji. And Leon Saul said, bye, these will never give you the money. We never get anything. Good luck in there, Leon. Good luck to you, brother. I wish you well. I don't know what you're planning to do, but I wish you well. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord of mercy. Anyway, okay. Let me finish with serious things. Well, this and all too. Listen, you see Dominic Gaskin. Dominic Gaskin is one of the most savage persons I knew. You understand? And the mere fact that this man is Granger's son-in-law, I think sometimes this man is do this thing just upset. just upset his father-in-law. But what he's saying is making sense. You understand? But honestly, sometimes I can imagine Dominic Gaskin, because you remember how they used to say, I don't think he's a successful businessman, but I don't think he is certified in a lot of things. I think Sherrod Duncan was throwing hints that he got some he was sent to do something and he never finished the course or something like that. Some story like that. I don't know. But the man's a successful businessman and he's married to David Granger's daughter. You understand? But Dominic Gaskin don't play. Dominic Gaskin don't play. I can imagine Dominic asking to marry Hans. I think Hans is her name. I can imagine. And the hard time this banner must get, Mickey's probably taking on Granger and the PNC like he's taking on them. Right? So Dominic Gaskin, I saw he did a Guyana Standard wrote a news article with him. Right? And Dominic said the APNU already lost the 2025 elections. Dominic Gaskin, those are his remarks. Right? Those are his remarks. The man said, forget polling day. Forget polling day. APNU already lost the 2025 elections. Now, what he's saying is the APNU is still haunted by the ghost of 2020. Right? Dominic Gaskin said APNU is still haunted by the ghost of 2020. He added APNU lost the 2025 elections 5 years ago. And they've been campaigning as a political zombie ever since. So he's saying you can't move forward with a rigging scandal dragging behind you like a haunted chain in a Scooby-Doo episode. You understand me? Now, for me, it's Gaskin's honesty. Right? Gaskin's honesty is like a rare fossil in opposition politics. When even Dominic Gaskin, a former AFC minister and family to the Granger dynasty, is saying you already lost, it's time to pack up and stop fooling your base. Right? I've said this to you over and over here, and I'm glad that he reiterated. No policy, still no apology. No APNU strategy, according to Askin, don't address the rigging, don't apologize, and definitely don't come up with any new ideas. Literally, Aubrey Norton. Just rename the party again and hope people forget. Right? It's like changing the label on spoiled milk and expecting people to drink it. Now, according to Gaskin, the 2020 rigging scandal is the political vision of a bad ex-APNU. You understand? And until they deal with the elections rigging that they attempted, they can't move forward properly. But instead of taking therapy, APNU, the elections rigging, go and see a therapist. APNU ranting on Facebook and the elections rigging they on YouTube. They choose in denial. They don't want to work together. You understand? I tell y'all just the other day, Samuel Sandy, in an interview, says that he had the evidence that APNU lost but stayed silent out of fear. That's how terrible these people over there. Fear. Now, APNU was out here pretending like they had a secret spreadsheet from the divine. You understand? Turns out, even the Region 4 vice chair had to ghost the party to save his conscience. And the man got the evidence. You notice Aubrey Norton, none of them can come out and contradict what Sandy said. Or tell Sandy, show me where you got. You realize none of them can come out and say nothing. Look how long they're responding to everything. What Nigel said, what who said, not Samuel. They ain't saying nothing about Samuel. Now, Gaskin reminds us it took 2 decades and a rebranding for the PNC to shake the last rigging scandal. Now they're back. Like it's their political tradition. No, clearly, they thought the R. Listen. I'm done. I'm not going to continue with this here. APNU needs to clean house. And since the 2020 elections, the APNU ain't pick up a broom in that house. Five years later, not one apology, one confession, and no internal audits at both parties. Just vibes, victimhood, and vague Facebook posts you're getting from them. That's it. That is it. Dominic Gaskin by Trouble. So Adriana Young has been laid to rest. We saw the spectacle of certain social media influencers at the burial ground on her funeral day, which I thought was, anyway. But in my mind, I figured like after the burial, things would have gotten better. And this situation continues to unfold, right? The situation continues to unfold. So it's moving from, well, I should say the information, more information is becoming available. So I came across another video. So I showed y'all earlier in the week the video of the aunt ranting and raving at the funeral at the grandmother. And she had a valid point, and a point that I've raised here on several occasions. How in heaven's name, 20 people, not 2, not 3, not 1, 20 people go out on an event. You understand? And nobody is see with this girl gone, buddy. This girl ain't being liming and play with nobody. You telling me Adriana Young being in the pool playing by herself, swimming in a corner by herself all the time and playing with your cousins, nothing. Nobody you know where she gone. She coming out the pool, she tell, hey, I coming back just now, going to the toilet. Nothing. Yeah, McForce in your photos on Livewire news page. Just go there and flip through and find them. Right? Nobody watching the pool to see when she climb out the pool to go anywhere, or somebody lower her out the pool. Everybody busy. So I understood the argument of the aunt on the funeral day, because I was saying, aside from the police stupidness, aside from the hotel stupidness, the family has to take some responsibility. The adults who were there in a supervisory role, because none of her parents were there, had to take some responsibility. You understand? So I understood the aunt's rant at the funeral, because she finally laying some blame at the where it should be laid. Honestly, I know none of you could collect your family children and some harm to them, and you are not held accountable. You understand me? What were you doing at the time? Because clearly it wasn't looking at the pool. But anyway, that aside, this video surfaces and you get the young side. So what I'm understanding now is that the father and the mother are not together. Right? So it's Dave versus them. So this is the Young's version of what.
That she collect money from David's son.
So this is it. This is after they would have walked out at the abusing. This is the Young side abusing now. And the lady said she has some evidence that the aunt collected money from the hotel owner or something of the sort. But collect money for what?
Money don't last for long. I want to know when the fucking money done what she gonna do.
Sorry, profanity warning. Sorry, they're cussing out in here. Sorry. Oh, Lord. Right? No, this is an allegation that the aunt collect money. I've heard recordings of either the aunt or some other aunt saying that the grandmother collect money. The grandmother buy some $1 million in furniture from courts and all sorts of madness. So like real money share out. Real money share out.
Ask run up back to Daddy to son for more money for mine share she fucking pick me them. That's what she better do. Now what the blood fucking money don't last. Blood fucking money can't tell you no in life. is a liar. Nobody's son can talk what happened, but the man about it fucking see. The one fucking man about it see, he knows it all.
So I don't know if that's the grandmother talking. It sounds like her. I don't know if it's her talking there. You understand me?
That's why you see the whole of the young fucking family didn't have nothing to say.
And that's a valid point. Outside of the father, you didn't hear from the grandmother. Well, the father and the cousin, the DJ guy who they say, well, like he do something and he cuss out the girl from England and whatnot. But outside of the two of them, you didn't hear from you never heard from the grandmother on social media. You would hear from none of the siblings of Adriana Young. Based on what I remember, the police would have said they can't get nobody to get the interview. You understand? So I don't know what more to say with this situation here. You know, it's a tragic loss of life. And I hope that we don't have a reoccurrence of this sort of foolishness. And I'm imploring on parents, guardians, whoever, people with responsibility for people cheering. You understand me? Right? People with responsibility for people cheering, teachers, group leaders and things, y'all definitely y'all like to people cheering. Even parents are talking to y'all definitely like with your own children. Make sure you know what's going on with your child, who looking after, was what going on. You understand me? This is ridiculous. But I am officially done with this here, right? We have gotten all the pathology reports. The family seem to be going through their own thing right now, which they should be able to do in peace. Y'all do your thing there. I just hope that it doesn't erupt into any violence or anything like that. And, you know, we could move forward from this tragic situation. Anyway, guys, I am out of here. Don't forget this Saturday up in Essequibo.
Essequibo! Saturday, June 28th, the Regina Car Park is the place to be for the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC Mega Show, featuring local and international soca and chutney artists Nikita, Ada Be Lyrical, Tony Cuts, and from Trinidad and Tobago, KI and Destra Garcia, along with Stephen Ramphel, OKC, Nishard M, Miss Renuka, Omaya Hall, Elizabeth Wong, Puran Siraj, Kevin Singh, GI and the Shakti String Orchestra. Join the vibes at the Regina Car Park this Saturday, June 28th from 5 p.m. with a contribution of only $1,000.
Yeah, so Essequibo Family Fun Day and fundraiser coming your way. Make sure you guys come out, support, and you know, give your contribution towards the party heading into the 2025 elections. Of course, I'm pretty sure His Excellency and the General Secretary of the party will be there to interact with you guys, photos and all that fun stuff. A lot of artists lined up for the mega concert at the end. So guys, come out and have some safe, clean fun. As I saw with the event in Georgetown, they had games for the kids and things like that. So, you know, come out and have some fun. Right? That's it for me today. As I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana. Y'all take care.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down, we ain't giving up no more. waiting.